Joy Guru Jai Jagannath. Welcome to India and to Bengal. We consider Bengal as the heart of India, and Calcutta, which we call nowadays as Kolkata. So we are sitting here in Kolkata, which was the capital of British India from 1757 till 1911. There was a proverb during those days, during British period and freedom struggle. What Bengal thinks today, India thinks tomorrow. Bengal or Kolkata was the gateway of European culture to India, English language, and so on. So we are in the historic city, and we are going to a few prominent places of spiritual significance. Belur Math is the international headquarters of Sri Ramakrishna Vivekananda movement.
ভজো গুরুর নাম জপ গুরুর নাম ভজো গুরুর নাম জপ গুরুর নাম শ্রী গুরুর নাম দিন তোমার আনন্দে যাবে ভজলে গুরুর নাম দিন তোমার আনন্দে যাবে ভজলে গুরুর নাম ভজ গুরুর নাম জপ গুরুর নাম ভজ গুরুর নাম জপ গুরুর নাম শ্রী গুরুর নাম দিন তোমার আনন্দে যাবে ভজলে গুরুর নাম দিন তোমার আনন্দে যাবে ভজলে গুরুর নাম গুরুর ব্রহ্মা গুরুর বিষ্ণু গুরুর শিব রাম গুরুর ব্রহ্মা গুরুর বিষ্ণু গুরুর শিব রাম গুরুর সেবায় মোক্ষ মিলে ধর্ম অর্থ কাম গুরুর সেবায় মোক্ষ মিলে ধর্ম অর্থ কাম ভজ গুরুর নাম জপ গুরুর নাম ভজ গুরুর নাম জপ গুরুর নাম শ্রী গুরুর নাম দিন তোমার আনন্দে যাবে ভজলে গুরুর নাম দিন তোমার আনন্দে যাবে ভজলে গুরুর নাম মেঘবরণ মুরলী মোহন বংশী বদন শ্যাম মেঘবরণ মুরলী মোহন বংশী বদন শ্যাম যমুনা পুলিনে বসে জপেন গুরুর নাম যমুনা পুলিনে বসে জপেন গুরুর নাম ভজ গুরুর নাম জপ গুরুর নাম ভজ গুরুর নাম জপ গুরুর নাম শ্রী গুরুর নাম দিন তোমার আনন্দে যাবে ভজলে গুরুর নাম দিন তোমার আনন্দে যাবে ভজলে গুরুর নাম গুরুর বাক্য সার করো মিটবে মনস্কাম। গুরুর বাক্য সার করো মিটবে মনস্কাম। আপন ঘরে আপনি বসে দেখবে আত্মারাম। আপন ঘরে আপনি বসে দেখবে আত্মারাম। ভজ গুরুর নাম, জপ গুরুর নাম। ভজ গুরুর নাম, জপ গুরুর নাম। ভজ গুরুর নাম, জপ গুরুর নাম। শ্রী গুরুর নাম দিন তোমার আনন্দে যাবে, ভজলে গুরুর নাম। দিন তোমার আনন্দে যাবে, ভজলে গুরুর নাম। ভজ গুরুর নাম, জপ গুরুর নাম। শ্রী গুরুর নাম দিন তোমার আনন্দে যাবে, ভজলে গুরুর নাম। দিন তোমার আনন্দে যাবে, ভজলে গুরুর নাম। দিন তোমার আনন্দে যাবে, ভজলে গুরুর নাম।
Acharya Shankara revived Hinduism in India long ago, and he established 4 mathas, monasteries in 4 directions: north, south, east, and west. This holy premises is established by Pujya Sankaracharya, north and west, who hold the 2 positions simultaneously. We were also blessed and fortunate. I am talking of myself and Swami Subramanianji. We had darshan, blessings of Pujya Jagadguruji couple of times. Who left his body last year. Almost a century he lived. He was also a freedom fighter for India's freedom movement. He established this temple, and not only that, he spent 24 Navaratris, 9 days worship of the Divine Lord in this place. So this place is also spiritually energized because of his presence and sadhana. Pujya Pithu Panditji, Shastri Mahasaya, he spoke first in Sanskrit, then in Hindi. In his words, he quoted 2 verses. Many of you know, one verse is dedicated to Mother Annapurna. Lord Shiva is begging near Mother Annapurna, who is numbered its own divine consort. You might have seen the picture if you remember in our Annapurna, the dining hall in Assam, in Puri. Lord Shiva is standing and asking for food. Pujya Panditji told, begging is not a symbol of humility. It is the symbol of surrender. And in this prayer, Lord Shiva is asking Jnana Vairagya Siddhi. Jnana means knowledge, Vairagya detachment, Siddhi, success, perfection. Then he also welcomed all of us as brothers and mothers. And he quoted another verse which is attributed to Bhagavad Acharya Sunkara. Mother Parvati is our mother, Lord Shiva is our father. Three words of three planes of creation, Bhuvanantraya, is my goal. And all are my own kin and kin. So he welcomes each one of us as his own, as brothers and mothers. Here we are sitting from different continents. It is the miniature form of the whole world. We are walking in this sacred land of India, which has its own heritage of spirituality. Spend every moment here in the presence of Divine Mother and presence of Guruji, whose picture is there above, who established this pitha, this shrine. Observe your breath silently and work for your own transformation.
भवसागर तारण कारण हे रविनन्दन वन्दन खण्डन हे भवसागर तारण कारण हे रविनन्दन वन्दन खण्डन हे शरणागत किङ्कर भीत मने शरणागत किङ्कर भीत मने गुरुदेव दया कर दीन जने गुरुदेव दया कर दीन जने गुरुदेव दया कर दीन जने हृदि कंदर तामस भास्कर हे हृदि कंदर तामस भास्कर हे तुम्हें विष्णु प्रजापति शंकर हे तुम्हें विष्णु प्रजापति शंकर हे परम ब्रह्म परात्पर वेद भणे परम ब्रह्म परात्पर वेद भणे गुरुदेव दया कर दीन जने गुरुदेव दया कर दीन जने गुरुदेव दया कर दीन जने गुरुदेव दया कर मन बारण शासन अंकुश हे मन बारण शासन अंकुश हे नरत्राण तरे हरि चाक्षुष हे नरत्राण तरे हरि चाक्षुष हे गुणगान परायण देवगणे गुणगान परायण देवगणे गुरुदेव दया कर दीन जने गुरुदेव दया कर दीन जने गुरुदेव दया कर दीन जने गुरुदेव दया कर दीन जने। कुलकुण्डलिनी घुम भञ्जक हे कुलकुण्डलिनी घुम भञ्जक हे हृदि ग्रन्थि विदारणकारक हे हृदि ग्रन्थि विदारणकारक हे मम मानस चञ्चल रात्र दिने मम मानस चञ्चल रात्र दिने गुरुदेव दया कर दीन जने गुरुदेव दया कर दीन जने गुरुदेव दया कर दीन जने गुरुदेव दया कर दीन जने। रिपुसूदन मंगल नायक हे रिपुसूदन मंगल नायक हे सुख शांति बरा भयदायक हे सुख शांति बरा भयदायक हे त्रयताप हरे तब नाम गुणे त्रयताप हरे तब नाम गुणे गुरुदेव दया कर दीन जने गुरुदेव दया कर दीन जने गुरुदेव दया कर दीन जने गुरुदेव दया कर दीन जने। अभिमान प्रभाव विमर्दक हे अभिमान प्रभाव विमर्दक हे गतिहीन जने तुम्हें रक्षक हे गतिहीन जने तुम्हें रक्षक हे চিত্ত সংকিত বঞ্চিত ভক্তি ধনে চিত্ত সংকিত বঞ্চিত ভক্তি ধনে গুরুদেব দয়া কর দীন জনে গুরুদেব দয়া কর দীন জনে গুরুদেব দয়া কর দীন জনে গুরুদেব দয়া কর দীন জনে।
I welcome you all, amistors, on behalf of my family. You are coming from different countries of the world, and we have a great difference in language, in religion, etc. Here Guru Hriyanji came and take initiation from Guru Krishna. He used to come with his parents in his childhood. Anyhow, one point we all agree, we converge on one point, that is self-realization. Guru Vijay Krishna held long discussions on it for years together. He died at the age of 25, and since the age of 24, he started doing discourses, discussing on these subjects, and these have been written in books.
This is the holy land and the house of Guru Srimad Vijay Krishna, where he lived almost whole of his life till he breathed his last. He was born in a small village, Nikash, which is about 40 kilometers away from here. He got his primary education over there in his childhood in Sanskrit schools. And his grandfather was a saintly man. He brought Vijay Krishna up here, kept him under his tutelage. Then at a certain point of his life, he was admitted to the Bible school in Howrah. After schooling was over, he did his course on homeopathy in Cambridge College, which is now known as the R.G. Kaur Medical College in Calcutta. Thereafter, as a librarian in a friend's union library in Howrah, he had a chance to get absorbed in the studies of English, Bengali, classical Sanskrit. He thereafter got a job in a Greek company named Raleigh Brothers. He worked there for 25 years. After taking early retirement, he was totally devoted to spiritual pursuit as well as guiding his disciples. Rishi Vijay Krishna, till his end of his life in 1945, Rishi Vijay Krishna was deeply versed in the Vedanta. Nay, he was over head and ears in the realization of truth exuded in between the lines of Upanishads. The Upanishads declared Brahmavad. Brahma is the concept of the Godhead in Hinduism. Brahma is unchanging, infinite, immanent and transcendent reality, which is the divine ground of all things in this universe.
Good morning to all ladies and gentlemen. Myself, Sri Adityanarayan Chatterjee, one of the grandson of Rishi Vijay Krishna, welcomes you all to the holy house of Guru Vijay Krishna. It is a holy moment for all of us together over here to take blessings of Guru and to have some deep holy spiritual discussion. Rishi established Vishwamata idol, which is worshipped still now by us, 23rd of December to 26th December every year.
We all have been welcomed to one of the most sacred place of pilgrimage related to our beloved Gurudev. When our beloved Gurudev was a schoolboy in his teen age, he started coming here because of his brother-in-law and brother also. His brother-in-law
Pramatnath was manager, or you can tell minister of Nawab of Murshidabad. Very powerful person and affluent also. He was disciple of Srimad Rishi Sri Vijay Krishna, Gurudev's second brother, who was also an attorney in Kolkata, Paresh Nath. He was also disciple of Srimad Rishi Vijay Krishna. So because of his brother and brother-in-law, Sri Gurudev came here. He came here regularly whenever he had the opportunity. And his real spiritual background, foundation started here. Although his father trained him a lot. Sri Gurudev studied textile engineering, diploma in textile engineering, and worked in a textile company. And he was also coming here, and it is Srimad Guru Sri Vijay Krishna who inspired him or guided him to go to Sri Yukteswar. He knew his destiny. When Sri Gurudev joined Kodar Ashram in the year 1938, after 4 years, when he came back to his family just to see his mother, because the mother was not taking any food, after hearing that her own son has become a monk, Gurudev got down from the train in Howrah station, and he considered it is his first duty to come to his beloved Gurudev. Do you know what happened? Sri Vijay Krishna was talking, packed with devotees. Gurudev's sister was also there, elder sister. Gurudev came to his beloved Gurudev, bowed down to him. He had long, bushy beard and hair. But it was not difficult for him to recognize his own disciple and child, Rabindranath, now Ravinarayan. He was also a humorous person, although very serious. He called Gurudev's sister, taking her name, come here, and hug this sadhu. Do you know what happened? She, coming from a very prestigious family and daughter-in-law of a respectable family, and how can he hug one stranger? She didn't recognize her own brother. So this was the drama created here. I will tell another story. When Sri Vijay Gurudev was staying in his residence while working in the textile company, there was a small coconut tree giving fast fruit. Only 2 tender coconut remained in the tree. Gurudev had the wish to bring these 2 tender coconuts to his beloved Gurudev. And during those days, because it was dwarf variety of coconut, anybody could touch and pluck. So night time, many times Gurudev was looking whether the coconut is intact or not. One day he plucked those 2 and bought some Rajanigandha flower bunches and came to his beloved Gurudev, and who was sitting with many disciples. When Gurudev came, Sri Vijaya Krishna is telling, do you know, he has spent many sleepless nights to guard this coconut. Now he has brought the two coconuts. And how can you take two coconuts when you are so many? This is the power of the Guru who knew the condition of the disciple. However, Sri Vijaya Krishna is the representation of India's ancient rishi culture. Most of the rishis in ancient India were householders. Very few were unmarried. Although in later stage of life, they were accepting monastic order. Like Rishi Yajnavalkya, he was a householder. Then he wanted to renounce. So, Sri Vijaya Krishna was born in a Brahmin's family, was trained by his own grandfather, and he, through his sadhana, he went to such an exalted state. He had that authority to tell what I am speaking is from the Vedas. You compare it, if you do not find the reference mantras, think that these Upanishads or the mantras have been lost. And his basic principle is everything is Brahman. Akhanda Brahmavada. Everything is divine. There is nothing where there is no presence of the divine. We are also happy that the family has been continuing the tradition which Sri Vijaya Krishna founded. As you heard from his grandsons, that every year in the month of December from 23rd through 26th, there is Vishwamata Puja, which is conducted here in this altar. So it is also a good example. We are also privileged that we always have been welcomed. You know, in being in householders' life, they have their job and other responsibilities. But to open the door, to welcome us from the core of their heart is a great privilege and honor to all of us. If you look up, there is a symbol, and there is also the description of the symbol below by mantra. If you look at that symbol, in the symbol there is the solar energy. Inside the solar energy, there is lunar energy. Inside the lunar energy, there is fire. Inside the fire, there is creation. Inside the creation, there is subtle presence of the immutable, changeless divinity who himself has manifested as everything. There are two swans. One is looking up, one is looking down. It can be considered as breath, prana going in and coming out. It can also be the human consciousness. Looking up means to the divine, looking to the world, to the mundane. And below there are two swans. The two swans represent the created beings, we all playing in this world in the form of two, body and the soul, wife and the husband, guru and the disciple, and so on. When Sri Gurudev was talking of his beloved Gurudev Sri Vijaya Krishna, he always had a change in his own feelings, attitude, his love. I have seen during my associations with him for over 21, closer to 22 years. When he spoke about his beloved Gurudev Sri Vijaya Krishna, he was always grateful, indebted, and he said, he is the one who really transformed my life, and Sri Yukteswarji fulfilled my life. One day, Sri Gurudev told me, I was young, in my 20s. He told me, you should read the Gita book of Sri Vijaya Krishna. But unfortunately, it is not with me. Somebody has stolen. It entered in my ears, Gita of Sri Vijaya Krishna. I found 3 volumes of the Gita in a library in Puri. I borrowed because I was a member there, I borrowed 3 volumes, made photocopies. And when Sri Gurudev came, I presented him. Can you imagine what he did? He took the book, touched his forehead and put it on his head. His eyes were almost filled with tears. You got it? From where did you get it? During those days, the books were out of print. He said, you should read it word by word. You know, in our path of Kriya Yoga, we give utmost importance to the Bhagavad Gita. All the great masters of Kriya Yoga have explained the Bhagavad Gita, and explanation of Sri Vijaya Krishna is unique in its own way. Whether it is Srimad Bhagavad Gita, whether it is Sri Sri Chandi. And as you heard, he has written quite a good number of books. And you imagine 100 years ago, his talks in the form of articles were printed in newspapers in Bengal. His books were really appreciated by countless spiritual personalities. As you heard, when he took early retirement, and not only people from India, Western people were also coming to him, especially from Europe and UK, to discuss, to learn, and to practice what he taught.
नमन करूं मैं सद्गुरु चरण नमन करूं मैं सद्गुरु चरण सब दुख हरण सद्गुरु चरण सब दुख हरण नमन करूं मैं सद्गुरु चरण नमन करूं मैं सद्गुरु चरण शुद्ध भाव धर अंतःकरण शुद्ध भाव धर अंतःकरण सुर नर किन्नर वंदित चरण सुर नर किन्नर चरण नमन करूं मैं सद्गुरु चरण नमन करूं मैं सद्गुरु चरण तरण प्रणत जन सुशरण कलिमल हरण सब सुख करण कलिमल हरण सब सुख करण नमन करूं मैं सद्गुरु चरण नमन करूं मैं सद्गुरु चरण तरण जगदुद्धरण नमन करूं मैं सद्गुरु चरण नमन करूं मैं सद्गुरु चरण सद्गुरु चरण भव भय हरण सद्गुरु चरण भव भय हरण नमन करूं मैं सद्गुरु चरण गुरु कृपा ही 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 केवल भिक्षाए ही गुरु कृपा ही केवल भिक्षाए ही गुरु कृपा ही गुरु कृपा ही गुरु कृपा ही गुरु कृपा ही गुरु विष्णु विधि वाम देव मोर गुरु परम ब्रह्म परम धाम मोर गुरु विष्णु विधि वाम देव मोर गुरु परम ब्रह्म परम धाम मोर गुरु सर्वस्व अन्य नाही केही गुरु सर्वस्व अन्य नाही केही गुरु कृपा ही गुरु कृपा ही गुरु कृपा ही गुरु कृपा ही निराकार निरगुण गुरु मोर अखण्ड रे पुरी छन्ति चराचर निराकार निर्गुण ସହଚର ଶିଷ୍ୟ ବତ୍ସଳ ହୁଅନ୍ତି ଦୟା ବହି ଶିଷ୍ୟ ବତ୍ସଳ ହୁଅନ୍ତି ଦୟା ବହି ଗୁରୁ କୃପାହି ଗୁରୁ କୃପାହି ଗୁରୁ କୃପାହି ଗୁରୁ କୃପାହି जननी गर्भरु गुरु तुम्भे मोर एबे गुरु सेही नित्य निराधार जननी गर्भरु गुरु तुम्भे मोर एबे गुरु सेही नित्य निराधार डाके दीन किंचन कर त्राही डाके दीन अकिंचन कर त्राही गुरु कृपाही गुरु कृपाही गुरु कृपाही गुरु कृपाही हृदय सरोज मिहिर गुरु मोर मोहि शक्ति शक्तिवान दया कर हृदय सरोज मिहिर गुरु मोर मोहि शक्ति शक्तिवान दया कर तुम्भ छड़ा अन्न मोर नाही केही तुम्भ छड़ा अन्न मोर नाही केही गुरु कृपाही गुरु कृपाही गुरु कृपाही गुरु कृपाही मोर गुरु तुम्भे सीना जगत गुरु श्याम सुंदर हे प्रेम कल्पतरु मोर गुरु तुम्भे सीना जगत गुरु श्याम सुंदर हे प्रेम कल्पतरु
This school was started maybe around 170 years back. So probably around 1853 the school was started. And many notable personalities studied in the school over a period of time. And among them, our beloved Guruji, Gurudev is one of them. Primarily, it's a Bengali medium school. So our Gurudev studied from class 1 to class 5 in the Manipur, and then from class 6 to class 11, our beloved Gurudev studied here. So on behalf of Prajnana Mission, a classroom has been donated where they have kept our Gurudev's photo.
ତୁମେ ଜଗତର ଏଣୁ ଜଗନ୍ନାଥ ନାମ ଗୁରୁଙ୍କର ମୋର ନାଥ ସିନା